name's Claire and this is Stitch Hem Sew. Thank you so much for joining me today for another episode of Friday Sews. Friday Sews was the brainchild of the lovely Jen from Today in Jen's Sewing Room as a way of bringing the sewing community together. So if you are interested in watching Jen or any of the other wonderful sewing YouTubers that are posting under that hashtag Friday Sews, just type Friday Sews into the search bar and you will find an absolute host of us all posting under the hashtag. The idea of Friday Sews is that we share what we've been making, things that we might have been buying, plans that we've got for the week, and a little bit of life. So that's what I'm doing today. So if that interests you, please stick around with me today. Before I get started, I'd just like to say a massive thank you to everyone that's been watching my previous videos. I really do appreciate it. Everybody that likes and comments and subscribes, it really is fantastic. Just thank you so much. If you do like today's video, I would really appreciate if you would give me a thumbs up, and if you haven't subscribed, please consider doing so, and don't forget to hit that notification bell so you get notified of all my future videos. Before I get stuck into what I've been sewing this week, I'd just like to say thank you so much to everyone that took part in Selfless Sew April 22. It was an absolute roaring success, and thank you to Crystal, who's kicked it all off, who is my social thread, and the lovely Adele from Sew for Serenity, who was also organising the challenge. They came up with a massive number of prizes. The challenge has now ended. All of the prizes have been, all the people that won prizes have been notified, but there was just so many incredible makes that people have made for other people. Yeah, it really did blow us away. It was so fun. On the it was Saturday, the 30th was sort of the day that everyone was posting, and our phones were just going absolutely crazy. It was just amazing. So thank you so much to everyone that took part, and we will hopefully be back again next year. So what have I been making this week? So last week I mentioned that I was going to put together a April plans video, and I have done that now, and I'll pop a card in to that particular video. Now, one of the items that I mentioned in that video, the first item that I was hoping to sew up, was a toile sort of test garment for the Waves and Miles 4 Seasons joggers in the long length. Now this is a pattern that's on my make 9, and so it's a pattern that I've wanted to sew up for a while. I've had the pattern for probably pushing a year now, and I haven't got round to making it up, which is why I'd popped it onto my make 9 in the hope that it would make me make it. Now, I'd got some fabric some time ago, not particularly with this pattern in mind. It was a French terry fabric. It's probably my least successful online purchase, if I'm honest with you. It wasn't a particularly good quality. I can't really remember where I got it from now. But yeah, it's a little bit on the sort of the rough side, and the inside of it is kind of quite a loose weave French terry, and yeah, it's just not very sort of soft and fluffy, but it was perfect for trying out the pattern to see whether I liked it, testing the general fit, seeing whether I would need to make any alterations, etc. And so I have sewn up the joggers in this grey French terry fabric. Now there's two different options that you can do for the pocket. There's a cool sort of circle detailed pocket, and then there's one that's sort of easier to pop your phone in. So that's the option that I've gone for. As you can see, it's quite bobbly already, this particular French terry. So yeah, it wasn't a good buy, but as I say, a perfect design for sewing up a test garment, if you like. And I didn't have any ribbing that particularly matched, so I've just done for another grey. But these aren't an item that I'm going to be wearing out the house. I'll just wear them for like lounging around. They've come together quite nicely. You can also do kind of a double height band on it to make it a real kind of yoga style pant, if you like, and which you can kind of fold down, etc. But because this is quite a thick French terry, I thought that might be a little bit much, if I'm honest with you. They come to a nice height. if I was to make it again, I'd possibly add just maybe another ½ an inch to the height of this, just to, it would just sit at a slightly better place on me. So yeah, those are the trousers, and yeah, I'm really quite chuffed generally with how they turned out, and I'll try and get a picture of me wearing those just so that you can see them, and pop a picture in there. So once I'd cut those particular joggers out, I had a reasonable amount of kind of fabric left, and so I thought I'd try making up some joggers as a sort of trial garment, if you like, for one of my sons. I was hoping that I'd get some joggers out for my older son, but I didn't have quite enough fabric for that, and so I printed the pattern off again, pieced it all together for my younger son, and I've sewn up sort of a tester for him as well. This time I've used the Petite Stitchery Joggers pattern, and they've come together really nicely. Very similar really in design, if you like, to the Four Seasons, I guess, with the joggers pattern. I mean, how many different varieties can you actually make? You could just make little tweaks to the sort of the design, I guess, and the fit. I guess you can have a very loose baggy style. These aren't particularly baggy. Again, I like with the others, I didn't have any kind of matching ribbing fabric for the band at the top and the hemband and the cuff, so I've just gone with a little bit that I had left in my stash, because again, these aren't ones that he's particularly going to wear out and about. I've just really made them up for fit, but I'm sure he'll get a little bit of wear out of them. He can probably wear them to preschool when they're you know, they get so grubby and dirty anyway, don't they? So just yeah, I'm sure they'll be fine. They're not as soft as I would like them to be for him, but yeah, as I say, that wasn't really what they were designed for. It was just to kind of test the fit and things on them. So yeah, quite pleased with how those turned out, and a great free pattern, the Petite Stitchery Joggers pattern for kids, and there's also an adults version which is free as well. So well worth checking that out if you haven't come across that pattern yourself before. So those are the only two things that I've got to show you. I did sew up a gift as well, but that person is yet to receive it, so I don't want to give anything away for that one. So that's all that I've done in terms of sewing this week. Now I have bought a couple of things this week that I thought you might like to see. The first item is a piece of jersey fabric. It was a remnant piece. I've got about 1 metre here. It's quite a thick jersey. I'm not quite sure of the composition. It's got a good stretch this way, but not very much this way. I don't know whether it would be classed as a ponte or not. It's very soft. On this side, it's got quite almost like a ribby kind of texture, and on this side, it's really quite sort of smooth. It's in kind of a maroony kind of colour, so again, probably not very seasonally appropriate, but this piece of fabric was only £5, so I snapped it up while I saw it, because some things you just get drawn to, don't you? And this was one of them. I think it's going to be a really good colour for me for the autumn sort of time. I think it will be ideal to sew up a little sort of short sleeve top to wear it in the office at work. Our office is either boiling or freezing, so I always find having kind of a short sleeve top on is quite good, even in the winter months, and then you can sort of pop a cardigan on as well. So I don't think I'd have enough fabric here to make a long sleeve top. Possibly I might get a 3/4 length out of it, but definitely kind of, you know, this sort of length. I don't know what pattern I would use at this point. Any suggestions you've got for that piece of fabric, I would be really grateful for. But yeah, something that I'll probably look to sew up as we approach the autumn time. But yeah, really, really gorgeous colour. I really, really like it. Now the next item The next fabric, if you like, is not strictly a fabric. I happened to be in Lidl and I came across a duvet set. Now this is a duvet set that is made by the company Christie's but was made exclusively for Lidl. I've bought a king size duvet, and with the idea, because I particularly loved this fabric, it's quite a large scale, but I've got a wedding to go to in July, and I need to make, I don't need to, I'd like to make a dress for it. Well, maybe I need to, I don't know whether I've got anything appropriate in my wardrobe. And so I saw the fabric and I thought it was gorgeous. It's 100% cotton, it's got a sateen sort of finish to it, so I thought that would be quite nice for a wedding. This is one of the pillowcases, just so that you can get kind of an idea of the design. So on this side it's sort of this bluey base, and on the reverse side it's a pink. So obviously I'll be trying to get all the dress out of one piece of one, you know, style of fabric. The only fly in the ointment is that my husband has seen the duvet set and he'd like it to be a duvet. So it's very much in the debate stage whether or not this is going to get sewn up as a dress or whether it's just going to be a duvet, which, you know, I love it as a duvet, but I'd also quite like it as a dress. So I don't know. I don't know who will win out. Maybe I will try and buy another set, but Lidl is one of those places that if you don't get something on the day that you see it, chances are it's not going to be there the next time. So chances are this is all sold out. So yeah, maybe maybe I'll just, if I am able to get another set, I'll just have a dress that matches my duvet, like everybody should have. So watch this space and we'll see if this gets sewn up into a dress or remains in its original state as a duvet. So in terms of plans for this week, I would like to sew up the Saphira trousers. That's a Tilly and the Buttons pattern from the Make It Simple book. And I spoke about that in my plans video, and I showed you this fabric that I bought last week. Now this is kind of quite a lightweight, relatively lightweight cotton. I would say it's a blend, if I'm honest. I'm not quite sure of its content. I don't think it's full cotton, but I think it's quite nice and lightweight for the summer months, but will make a nice pair of smart trousers for work. I'm hoping that it will work okay in terms of sort of the drape and things on it, but if it sort of turns out sort of too wide leg, then I'll have to make sort of adjustment to it. I'm looking at making it as the full length, at least to begin with, and go from there. So yeah, hoping that to get this piece of fabric sewn up into some trousers for next week. The next item that I'm hoping to sew up this week is a toile for the Anna Allen Anthea blouse using this particular piece of fabric. This is a piece of fabric that I'm not particularly precious about. I picked this up in a charity shop. It's not necessarily something that I would have picked had I been in a you know, fabric shop, but I don't dislike it, and I think it will make a great toile for this particular garment. I'm not 100% about this particular pattern, not because I don't like it, but just in terms of the style on me. It looks great. I've seen it on so many other people in terms of Instagram. For instance, Liz from The Baker That Sews has sewn up so many different versions of this particular blouse, and they all look beautiful and fantastic, and you can also make it into a dress as well. And so, you know, that's definitely been quite an inspiration to me. But what I'm not completely sure about is the fact that it kind of buttons up quite high up, and I'm not sure about that on me. generally I would go for something that's got a bit more of a scoop or a v-neck. You know, I haven't got a massive bust, but I have got a full bust, if you like. So I generally find having a little bit of chest, not as in cleavage, but you know, just a little bit of this area showing, is a little bit more, I feel more comfortable in, if you like. However, that being said, I've sewn up a number of things in more recent times that don't have or that, you know, are more of a crew neck style, and actually I've really liked them. So we'll see whether this one is for me or not. So yeah, I'm hoping to, if I haven't sewn this one up, I'm at least hoping that I've made a start on this particular item. Before I round up today, I just want to give a shout out to Marissa, who is the Umbrian Sewist. Marissa and I are looking to do a collaboration this month, and we will be hoping to bring our videos out towards the end of May. And I just wanted to give her a shout out. Please head over and have a look at her channel. I really enjoy watching Marissa. She's really funny. She's very down to earth. She, you know, she will tell you all about her highs and her lows in terms of sewing, and I just find her a joy to watch. So do check out her channel and show her some support as well. The other person that I'd love to give a shout out to today is Sarah from Sew Sarah Sewed. Sarah's channel is brilliant. She's so great to watch. I love some of the fabrics that she chooses. They're really bright and colourful. Sarah's from Australia, and so I guess she has access to different stores, and obviously we've got over here. And I don't know, everything she makes I just love. And yeah, her, as I say, her fabric choice is just gorgeous. So if you haven't seen her channel, please do head on over and check it out. So I think that's everything from me today. Sorry there wasn't quite as much sewing to show you this week. It's been a super busy week at work, and I've also obviously had a little bit of admin side to do for Selfless Sew April 22. So hopefully I will get some sewing done this week and sew up the Sophia trousers and the Anna Allen Anthea bows. That is such a tongue twister. So I can show them to you next week. I really hope you've enjoyed today's video. If you have, please do give me a like. If you haven't subscribed, I'd love it if you could consider doing so, and don't forget to hit the notification bell so you get notified of all my future videos. But until next time, take care, happy sewing, bye bye.